Guys, so many people have been asking me about Ethereum the recent days, like I believe never before. And this is why I make this video now. Honestly, I am a bit sorry because I wanted to make this video that I show you right now in beginning of July, and I missed to do it because I didn't have the time personally. There was just too much going on in my private life. You know, this is still my hobby and I'm doing that just for you. So if you like my content, make sure you like this video right now, give it this push in the algorithm, and also comment down below if you like my work, support me, and I will continue to make more videos hopefully in the future. But let's get into this topic. Where is Ethereum going? Because so many people are asking me about pricing right now, and I really want to give you this assessment. And we know there is one man that has better information, superior information to all of us, and that's Donald Trump. And he has 90%, a staggering 90% of his crypto portfolio in Ethereum. That's why I say this man knows something we don't. And in this video, I show you what the targets could be if we go very ballistic. So when we look at crypto charts and all other charts in markets, financial markets, we always need to look from the big picture to the smaller one. So we look at the big time frame first. You see here I have this Ethereum chart open. It's Ether against US dollar Tether on Binance, probably the biggest pair that is traded in crypto right now. And you see we have reached this 3,836 value right now. This is a monthly chart that you see here. And on the monthly chart, you see there was a clear trend from the all-time high that Ethereum reached in November of 21, and it was never basically broken, this trend line that you see here. I will show you in the smaller time frames that it actually was broken for a short moment, but it was a fake out. But let's look at this. So we see that there were lower highs here going on from November. Then we made lower highs in summer last year, and we made lower highs also in the end of last year. We also had higher lows, which made many people optimistic for this run up here from July 2022 around all the way up to the end of last year. And then we had this fake out. You also see here on the RSI that we are still very low. And this is such a good signal. Look at that. So the high in the RSI was here, April of 21. You remember this was the huge run up to the first top of the last bull market in Bitcoin. And then it went even further up. Very classical pattern. You see that the RSI is not going all the way up here again. It makes a lower high, and in contradiction to this higher high here, which means there is a divergence and then it usually crashes. This is a very classical pattern that everybody could have seen. So then we went down here to see the lows, and we also went up again, but we didn't go further, and we are still here. You see that we are higher here already than we were there, and we are kind of at the same level. So it looks very good right now. Obviously, we are a bit overvalued. It went very fast up. Then we look on the weekly chart. I think this is even better to look at on this scene here, but I just wanted to show you this trend because here it looks like it was broken. So as I said in the beginning of the video, it usually breaks in the smaller time frames first, but then it gets confirmed in these monthly or even 3 monthly trends that we see later. And this trend that broke out here was never confirmed. It actually went above it for 2 weeks. You see, it closed twice above this line, but then it crashed down again. And before the end of the year, we saw it below again, which was a big bull trap for many. So many bought in here thinking that it could just moon from here and go all the way up to 7 or 8,000. But this did not happen. As we know, we also broke this other trend line here, and it's time actually to delete these trend lines because they're invalidated. Nobody cares about them any longer. So let's take them out. We also have to look at the low here. This was really low, so we had a big sell-off. We went all the way here to this level, which was a strong support. Obviously, usually these strong lows are good supports, and then we bounced off. We had a bit of a struggle here on this line. You see we went through on the weekly, on the 200-week average, we went through, and we went below again, and then we finally smashed it to the upside. Very nice pattern that we see here, and I'm super bullish now on Ethereum, and you should be too, because you see also here the RSI is long, not overheated. We're very low here, actually around 70 only, and we can expect it to go much higher before we see a blow off top. So let's look at the daily, and this is getting really exciting because the daily is showing us that we are scraping here on these highs that we have seen here, these lower highs, and this will be such a point of struggle for Ethereum. So if you are in Ether, you should very much watch this here, watch this line, because it won't be this is wrong. It won't be as easy to get through this line here. So just above 4,000, probably 4K will be a bit of a struggle. So, and I want to warn you here because we could see a small pushback here. So maybe we go up here to this line and then we see a somewhat of a setback, probably even somewhere down here until we go up again and really smash it. I do not say that this is definitely how it's playing out, but that's a certain possibility. I think I made it much too steep now in my drawings because this is not how it will work out. But in general, this is what we should expect. We should expect somewhat of a setback from this line. And I show you right now in this video why we should expect the next move to be very violent, because look at this dip here. It was the dip of the Trump tariffs. I mean, this is not the COVID crash, but it was a crash like here. But then you see the run up to the next level until we broke this former high here. It looks very similar. We had a run up, we had a struggle, and we moved up again very explosively, similar to here. So let's measure this and also put the pattern here from the lows to the highs, and look what would be the target if we have a similar run like we had back then. You see, we need to fit it a bit because the lows and the highs are not completely the same size. So make it similar size, which is a fair comparison, I would say. And then you see how this chart would look if we have a similar run out like here to this top. Look at that. It aligns to be somewhere in January 26 at the high point. So it could be a rally until the end of the year, similar to 2017. You see, as I said before, here could be a small rejection of this upper limit here. Maybe we do it like this. So it's very precisely through here. And then we could move all the way to probably, I mean, this is very optimistic. Let's be a bit more cautious, but let's say the target is somewhere between 10 and 15K. I think the first target will rather be to go through here and to move above to this place somewhere between 8 and 9K for Ethereum. Honestly, it's very hard to predict at this point because this up here is price discovery zone. Everything above the previous all-time high, it could just go to the moon like never before. But that's only one way how to measure the returns of a crypto asset for the future. We could also look at this longer chart here and compare the returns from this bull market to the next one. So in the first bull market that you see here in this graph, we see that from the low to the high, it's about 22% increase. Then we see the next bull market, look here, it's from here all the way up to here. We come to like 4,500. So 22 and 4,500, it's like 1/5. So 4.5 times 5 would be roughly the value where we were the last time. What if we expect that it's also 1/5 of the last bull market again? Then we could also find another price prediction, which would be from here, the low. We measure all the way and we say optimistically, because we have so much adoption, we could go up 1,000%. And this also gives us this 15,000 target. However, as you see, this is very inaccurate. It could also be just 800%, and that would make a big, big difference. We would only reach 12, 13,000, something like that. But now it's up to you. What do you think how it will play out? Let me know in the comments what your price prediction for Ethereum is. Am I completely insane, or is this where we're going to? And this being said, I hope you enjoyed this video and I wish you all the best. Your Alex.